Have you ever wondered how some people command respect the moment they walk into a room, without saying a word? It's not luck, and it's certainly not about dominance. It's about mastering the subtle yet profound art of influence, a skill rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. We've all heard the phrase, "Silence is golden." It's true, silence can command attention, create mystery, and earn respect, but silence alone is not the key to true influence. What if you could combine silence with purposeful action, strategic presence, and the power of contrast to not just influence but transform the way people perceive you? In today's journey, we'll delve into strategies that go beyond silence, principles that help you command a room, forge deeper relationships, and leave an indelible mark wherever you go. Whether it's in your career, personal life, or inner growth, these Stoic strategies will show you how to live with clarity, confidence, and purpose. So, are you ready to unlock the art of influence and change the way you navigate the world? Let's dive in. The power of silence, a timeless strategy. Silence has always been a cornerstone of influence. From the Stoics of ancient Rome to modern psychologists, the idea that what you don't say can be more powerful than words holds true. As Epictetus once said, silence is safer than speech. The strength of silence lies in its ability to shift the dynamics of interaction. When faced with tension or conflict, withholding words can feel counterintuitive, yet it opens a gateway to a deeper kind of influence. Consider a moment of heated exchange, a disagreement spiraling into raised voices and accusations. The natural inclination is to defend or attack, to fill the space with words that assert dominance or justification. But what happens when, instead of engaging, you remain silent? The atmosphere shifts. Silence, like a mirror, reflects the other person's anxieties, assumptions, and projections back at them. The tension, unresolved by your calm, demands their attention, forcing them to reckon with their own words and emotions. More than just a shield, silence protects something even more precious, your energy. When words are withheld, so too are the impulsive reactions that often escalate conflict. Instead of being drawn into an argument or drained by trivial exchanges, silence acts as a guardian of your mental clarity, allowing you to observe rather than absorb the chaos. In this way, silence becomes not a retreat, but a strategy, a deliberate choice to maintain control and poise when others may falter. In a world inundated with endless chatter and opinion, silence also disrupts the norm. The absence of sound can speak louder than the most carefully crafted words. It is a rare and potent force in modern discourse, a vacuum that demands notice in its stillness. Silence invites intrigue. It compels others to lean closer, to wonder about your thoughts, your intentions, your strength. This enigmatic quality gives silence its power, turning it into a tool that commands respect without confrontation. Yet, like any tool, silence must be wielded wisely. Its power is not infinite, and overuse risks diminishing its impact. Silence thrives on timing and context, requiring discernment to deploy effectively. Used sparingly, it retains its ability to captivate and unsettle. When relied upon too frequently or without care, it may be misinterpreted as indifference, passivity, or even arrogance. This is where silence evolves. It transitions into a deeper practice, not merely the absence of words, but the presence of being. Presence, commanding attention without words. If silence creates mystery, presence creates gravity, a force that draws others to you, not through words, but through the quiet strength of your being. Presence is not about what you do, but about how you exist. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wisely observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This underscores a profound truth. Your presence is a mirror of your inner life, a reflection of your discipline, clarity, and the alignment of your thoughts with your actions. The power of presence lies in its ability to communicate without a single word. It is in the way you move, the way you hold yourself, and the way you engage with the world. Standing tall, making steady eye contact, or maintaining deliberate and composed movements. All of these convey a confidence that words cannot replicate. Presence isn't just seen, it is felt. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Who you are speaks so loudly I cannot hear what you are saying." At the core of presence is energy, the subtle, magnetic quality of someone who knows their worth and carries themselves with calm assurance. This energy is not loud or forceful, it is quiet, grounded, and deliberate. When you walk into a room with this kind of energy, people notice. Conversations pause, eyes shift toward you, not because you demand attention, but because your very being compels it. Consistency, too, is a cornerstone of presence. It is not enough to exude confidence in fleeting moments. True presence is built over time, reinforced by actions that align with your values and by a life lived with purpose. This authenticity breeds trust and respect, as people are naturally drawn to those who embody integrity. Friedrich Nietzsche captured this idea when he said, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself." Presence is not merely the result of external behaviors, it is the product of self-mastery. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that a composed and centered inner life would naturally manifest outwardly, creating an aura that others could not ignore. Consider the image of a stormy sea, turbulent and unpredictable. Now contrast it with the stillness of a calm lake, unshaken by external forces. Which one inspires trust? Which one commands respect? This cultivated presence can transform not only how others perceive you, but also how you navigate the world. Imagine entering a space where someone's mere presence shifts the dynamic entirely. They don't speak loudly, demand attention, or seek approval. Instead, their energy does the work for them. This level of influence is not accidental. It is the result of purposeful living, a dedication to aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with your highest self. As you cultivate presence, you begin to realize its transformative power. It is not about dominating a room, but about becoming a steady, grounding force within it. The presence of a person who has mastered themselves is both inspiring and reassuring. They remind us of what is possible when we live with intention and embody the strength that comes from within. Action, the bridge between intention and impact. Silence lays the groundwork for clarity, and presence establishes your gravity. But it is action that turns potential into reality. Without deliberate action, the foundation you've built remains inert, a castle in the air without substance. As Marcus Aurelius admonished, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. His words remind us that thought and intention must culminate in action for their true value to be realized. Action is where internal mastery takes its outward form, where values are tested and brought to life. It is not just the act itself, but the deliberate alignment of action with your principles that makes it powerful. Purposeful action carries a clarity that speaks louder than any words or silence, creating an impact that cannot be ignored. The Stoics believed in this deeply. They saw action as the natural extension of a virtuous life. As Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." This call to immediacy and intentionality underscores the necessity of making each action count. Imagine a scenario where a tense meeting unfolds, with voices raised and opinions clashing. Amid the chaos, you choose not to add to the noise. Instead, you listen, observe, and reflect. Then, at the precise moment, you deliver a single, well-thought-out point, a statement rooted in reason and clarity. This singular act, calm and deliberate, shifts the entire trajectory of the discussion. Such moments illustrate the essence of purposeful action, not volume, but precision, not reaction, but response. The transformative power of action lies in its ability to leave an indelible mark, while silence and presence create the space for influence. It is action that defines the legacy you leave behind. Consider the great thinkers and leaders of history. Their words may inspire us, but it is their deeds, their actions, that have shaped the course of human events. As Aristotle noted, We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This reminds us that impactful action is not a one-time effort, but a continuous practice, forged through discipline and intentionality. Action also requires courage, the willingness to step into the unknown and face potential failure. The Stoics revered courage as one of the cardinal virtues, understanding that without it, wisdom and intention remain dormant. Taking purposeful action does not mean perfection. It means embracing the responsibility to act despite uncertainty. It means recognizing that mistakes, too, are a form of progress when aligned with growth and learning. At its core, action is a testament to your integrity. It is not about performing for others or seeking validation, but about living in accordance with your highest values. It transforms thought into reality and intention into influence, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the immediate moment. When your actions align with your silence and presence, they carry a weight that resonates. They become not merely acts but statements of who you are and what you stand for. And in those moments, your influence transcends the fleeting noise of words or opinions. It becomes enduring, a reflection of your character and purpose, etched into the fabric of the world around you. Controlled visibility, the art of strategic presence. The Stoics understood a timeless truth: scarcity amplifies value. Just as rare gems are prized above common stones, so too is the presence of a person who appears only when their contribution is meaningful. Controlled visibility is not about withdrawing or being aloof. It is the practice of being purposefully present at pivotal moments and gracefully absent at others. Epictetus offered a profound guide to this idea when he said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." To navigate the world with strategic presence, one must understand their role and the influence they wish to wield, and then act with deliberate intent. To master controlled visibility, it is essential to be selective. You are not obligated to attend every event, participate in every discussion, or weigh in on every issue. Your absence from trivial matters magnifies the weight of your presence when it truly counts. Consider the difference between a person who speaks constantly and one who reserves their words for moments of significance. The former blends into the noise, while the latter commands attention. This selectivity is not merely a tactic, it is an expression of self-respect and self-awareness. As Seneca noted, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This extends beyond relationships to every arena of life. Be present where you can add value, and absent where your presence dilutes your worth. Scarcity, too, is a cornerstone of controlled visibility. Overavailability can erode respect and diminish intrigue. When you are always present, others may take your presence for granted. By intentionally stepping back, you create space for your absence to be felt, for curiosity to arise, and for your presence to regain its impact. This concept is mirrored in nature. A starry night sky inspires wonder because it is not always visible, shrouded by the sun or clouds. Controlled absence heightens appreciation and establishes an aura of significance. Yet, absence alone is not enough. It must be balanced by purposeful presence. When you do appear, it should be with clarity and intention. Your words and actions must align with your values and the demands of the moment. Imagine entering a room not as a passive observer, but as a deliberate force of calm and focus. This kind of presence cannot be ignored, as it signals to others that your being there matters. The philosopher Lao Tzu expressed a similar sentiment. He who knows when to fight and when not to fight will be victorious. Controlled visibility is, in essence, knowing when to show up and when to step back. To embody this art, consider the great figures of history and literature. Leaders, thinkers, and strategists often mastered the balance of presence and absence. They understood that being everywhere at once weakened their influence, while strategic appearances amplified their authority. Like a well-placed note in a melody, the impact of your presence depends on the silence surrounding it. Controlled visibility is not about manipulation but about intention. It reflects a life guided by purpose and clarity, where every appearance is an opportunity to reinforce your values and create meaningful connections. This approach requires discipline, as the temptation to overengage is ever present in a world that values visibility over substance. But the reward is profound: a presence that resonates, a reputation that endures, and an influence that transcends fleeting trends. Through this balance of being seen and unseen, you cultivate a presence that is both respected and sought after. When you master the art of controlled visibility, your actions and choices echo the wisdom of the Stoics, living purposefully, showing up meaningfully, and leaving an impression that lingers long after you've departed. The contrast principle, amplifying impact. The power of contrast lies in its ability to amplify perception by setting opposites against one another. It is through the quiet after noise that silence gains its depth, and through absence that presence becomes magnetic. This principle, rooted in psychology and echoed by the Stoics, reveals a subtle yet profound way to elevate the impact of your actions and choices. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, captured the essence of contrast when he stated, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Just as the awareness of mortality can give life its urgency and meaning, the interplay of opposites breathes life into the way we navigate our presence in the world. Contrast draws attention and sparks intrigue by breaking patterns. A person who is always silent may be overlooked, but a well-timed word from someone known for their quiet composure commands respect. Similarly, presence after absence carries a weight that uninterrupted availability cannot achieve. Consider the phenomenon of scarcity in economics. An item becomes more desirable simply because it is rare. This same principle applies to human interactions. When your presence or actions are measured and deliberate, their value increases. The key to harnessing contrast effectively lies in balance and timing. Alternating between silence and action is a powerful way to captivate others. Imagine a leader in a heated discussion. Rather than responding immediately, they pause, allowing the room to settle into the tension of their silence. When they finally speak, their words carry more weight, precisely because they emerged from that quiet void. This deliberate alternation keeps others engaged, curious, and receptive. Absence, too, serves as a powerful tool for contrast. When you step back intentionally, you allow others to feel the gap left by your presence. It is in this space that appreciation and anticipation are cultivated. Think of the return of a long-absent friend or the reappearance of a performer after a dramatic pause. Both scenarios heighten the emotional impact because of the absence that preceded them. As Epictetus wisely noted, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Absence clears the stage, creating room for your return to be received anew, with fresh perspective and greater impact. Timing, perhaps the most subtle aspect of contrast, is what transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary moments. Knowing when to act or speak is as critical as the action itself. Consider a comedian's perfectly timed punchline, or a strategist's calculated delay before striking. These moments are memorable not because they occur in isolation, but because they stand out against the backdrop of stillness or anticipation. Seneca captured this idea when he wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Timing your actions for moments of maximum effect ensures that they are not just noticed, but remembered. Contrast is not about manipulating perception, but about mastering presence. It is a reflection of self-awareness, the ability to observe patterns and disrupt them with purpose. When applied thoughtfully, it enriches every facet of interaction, transforming the mundane into the meaningful. It is through contrast that silence becomes profound, absence becomes intriguing, and action becomes impactful. By embracing the principle of contrast, you enhance the dynamics of your presence, ensuring that your words, actions, and silences leave a lasting impression. This artful interplay of opposites aligns with the Stoic ideal of living deliberately, making each moment an opportunity to amplify your influence and deepen your connection with others. Self-mastery, the core of influence. At the foundation of all strategies for influence and presence lies self-mastery, the art of governing oneself. The Stoics believe that true power begins not in controlling others, but in mastering the mind. Epictetus captured this profound truth when he observed, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." It is our perceptions, our unchecked fears and desires, that often dictate our actions, and self-mastery offers the means to break free from this internal chaos. Self-mastery is not about perfection but about progress, a deliberate, ongoing effort to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your highest principles. It begins with mindset. The Stoics emphasize that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we perceive and respond to them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Developing discipline over your thoughts and emotions requires consistent self-reflection and the courage to question your automatic reactions. When faced with adversity, pause and ask, "Is this within my control?" This simple act shifts your perspective, allowing reason to guide your response rather than impulse. Discipline is the scaffolding upon which self-mastery is built. It is in the small, daily choices, the habits you cultivate, that your character is forged. The Stoics believed in the power of routine to shape the mind and strengthen the spirit. Seneca advised, "Hold fast to this sound and wholesome rule of life, that you indulge the body only so far as is needed for good health." Through disciplined living, you develop resilience and focus, qualities that are essential for enduring challenges and maintaining clarity amid distractions. Discipline is not restrictive, it is liberating, for it allows you to act with intention rather than being swept along by fleeting desires. Authenticity, the outward expression of self-mastery, creates genuine influence. When your actions align with your values, you inspire trust and respect. People are drawn to those who live with integrity because such individuals embody a strength that cannot be feigned. Authenticity is not about rigidly adhering to an idealized image of oneself. It is about being true to your principles, even when it is inconvenient or unpopular. As Epictetus wisely stated, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This alignment of thought, word, and deed not only enhances your influence, but also brings a profound sense of fulfillment. Self-mastery is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It requires patience and humility, as well as the willingness to learn from failures and setbacks. Each moment of struggle becomes an opportunity for growth, a step toward greater self-awareness and control. The Stoics understood that mastery over oneself is the only true freedom, for it liberates you from the tyranny of external circumstances. As you cultivate self-mastery, you begin to realize its ripple effect. Your mindset influences your discipline. Your discipline reinforces your authenticity, and your authenticity amplifies your presence and impact. This interconnectedness is the essence of influence, a quiet, unshakable strength that radiates outward and inspires others to strive for the same. By mastering yourself, you master the art of influence, not through domination or manipulation, but through the integrity of living in alignment with your highest values. This, the Stoics believed, is the truest form of power, one that endures long after words and actions fade into memory. Examples of Stoic strategies in action. The wisdom of the Stoics transcends time, proving its relevance in both ancient and modern contexts. Their strategies, rooted in clarity, discipline, and intentionality, offer powerful tools for navigating leadership, negotiation, and relationships. These principles are not abstract philosophies. They are living practices that have shaped history and continue to influence the present. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, who led the Roman Empire with unparalleled composure. During times of chaos and uncertainty, be it war, plague, or political unrest, his calm and measured presence became a source of reassurance for his people. He exemplified the Stoic ideal of leading by example, embodying self-mastery and resilience. His personal writings and meditations reveal his dedication to principles over impulse, reminding himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Through his leadership, Marcus showed that a composed demeanor in the face of turmoil not only inspires confidence but solidifies authority. In the realm of modern business, the Stoic strategy of silence and deliberate action often dictates the outcome of negotiations. Those who remain composed and speak less frequently tend to hold the upper hand, as silence creates an unsettling void that compels others to fill it. This principle can be seen in high-stakes negotiations, where a well-timed pause or a calm, deliberate response often reveals the other party's anxieties or hidden intentions. Epictetus captured the power of restraint in his advice. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. By observing and listening more than speaking, you gain insight and maintain control, turning the negotiation to your advantage. In personal relationships, the Stoic approach emphasizes the value of presence and absence as complementary forces. Being overly available can sometimes lead to complacency in how your presence is valued. Strategic absence, whether through physical distance or emotional space, can reignite appreciation and allow others to reflect on the significance of your role in their lives. Yet, absence alone is not enough. It must be balanced by meaningful, purposeful presence, a heartfelt conversation, an act of support during a critical moment, or simply being fully present during significant events strengthens bonds and builds trust. As Seneca observed, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. The quality of your presence, rather than its frequency, creates lasting connections. These examples highlight the timeless applicability of Stoic strategies, whether leading an empire, navigating complex negotiations, or deepening personal relationships. The principles of calm composure, intentional silence, and purposeful action offer a roadmap for influence and connection. They remind us that power lies not in force or dominance, but in clarity, presence, and the discipline to act with wisdom and intention. The path to true influence begins with mastering yourself. Silence, presence, and deliberate action are powerful tools, but they find their greatest strength when rooted in self-discipline and intentional living. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." His words remind us to live fully, act purposefully, and align every moment with our highest values. Take these steps to start transforming your influence today, and embrace strategic silence to listen, observe, and understand before acting. Cultivate presence through calm confidence and mindful body language, or align your actions with your principles to create authentic, lasting impact. This is more than a strategy, it's a way of life. When you practice these principles, you won't just navigate the world, you'll shape it. Let today be the start of your journey toward clarity, confidence, and purpose. If you found this exploration meaningful, subscribe to our channel for more insights into timeless philosophies and transformative strategies. Together, we'll continue to unlock the wisdom that empowers you to thrive in every aspect of life.